Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here. Hello, how you all doing? Good Erev Shabbos. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. I am thrilled to see you, ZK. It has been a whole week. By the time I'm done before Rosh Hashanah, we'll do 4 straight shows. I hope that everyone has been tuning in and catching up because we've had a lot of fun in the studios. How crazy were those things last week that we made? Those arayas? I made them last night for dinner finally in my house. So lots of cooking going on at this time. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Naomi Nachman. I'm about all the food all the time. I love food. I love shopping for it, cooking it, eating at restaurants, anything food related. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet. I run chop competitions. I'm a 2-time book author, and I love traveling the whole world, but I want to hear about your experiences too. So if you ate somewhere cool or made something delicious, email me. This should be conversation, Naomi@nachumsegal.com, and I'd love to hear about all your exciting food adventures. Couple of housekeeping notes that we need to take care of, guys. Do you remember 2 weeks ago we had the Wall Street guys? Did I say, yeah, Wall Street Grill? They were on the show, right? And we did a giveaway. Well, it is time to announce that giveaway. You have a drum roll for me, ZK? I'm thinking that we should get the drum roll on. He's looking for it. What have we got?
I got the applause.
I've got applause. Okay, we'll do applause. Okay. Guys, my guess maybe we'll do the drum rolls, okay? Vic and Shachar, they're going to be my drum roll. And the winner is for dinner for 2 at Wall Street Grill is Ruvain Brick. That is really exciting. When I saw his name, when I pulled out his name, I was so happy because, number one, he told me it's his wife's, he and his wife's 6th wedding anniversary, but they're really big fans of the Nachum Segal Network. They love Nachum, very supportive of Table for Two. And I was like, wow, that was amazing. So congratulations, Ruvain. You know how to reach me, and I will we'll get that out to you. So Wall Street Grill, one of my favorite Manhattan restaurants. So go check it out. It's a destination restaurant, and they will be open on Sukkot, which is really cool. They have the most magnificent rooftop balcony that you can eat at. So definitely put that on your list. Call soon to make a reservation. I thought it was nice to give them a nice shout out because I was so generous. Okay, now let's switch to Miami Beach because I spent a lot of time in Miami about 10 days ago. I was on book tour for the Jewish Book Council. I did 3 demos down in Florida. So I just shout out to my friend Michelle Sacker, Miami Food Yenta on Instagram. And she took me around with some of the great crew that's down there, Srully Cooks. And I'm sure I'm going to leave someone else. Diana from The Funny Side of Life. I hope I'm saying that right. And Yosh Schwartz, Chassid and Hipster, or he's also known as Yosh Schwartz on Instagram. And they took me around. We ate at so many insane restaurants. If you do follow me on Instagram, you'll see. But we ate at a restaurant called Sammy Susu. Guys, what you do is it's a real Israeli restaurant. Everyone there speaks Hebrew. There's like Israeli memorabilia all over the wall. And it's like modern Israeli cuisine. As they clear up your meal, it's time for dessert. You have to get this dessert, guys. They wash the table down. They put down brown paper. Then they come running at you with music and start dumping dessert all over the table. It's like a show. And it ends up with about 10 desserts, 10 different desserts. It was 4 of us all over the table. Like they painted on the table with custard, and it was amazing. So go check out Sammy Susu. It was brilliant. We went to Harbor Bistro for lunch, Grand Cafe in Fort Lauderdale, the Grove Supermarkets. Yosh Schwartz just took it over, and the food department, and he's going to, it's all food because it's a supermarket, but help managing the takeout as well. And he gave me a tour of a couple of them because I kind of call them like the Gourmet Glatt of Miami. They have a few locations all over the place, so kind of like Gourmet Glatt. So I went there, and of course, so Grand Cafe Grove. Did I say Tasty Beach? Tasty Beach is my favorite. Big thank you to Jeremy for showing us all your incredible food that you have going on there. So just if you are down in Florida and you are, I know it's only Rosh Hashanah, you are thinking about winter break. make reservations. Does not hurt. Fuegos. Fuegos is another favorite of mine, and Soho Grill in, I want to say Aventura. I don't know what that is. I don't know my area so well. Crudo Fish. It's a fish shop that also has poke bells. So many great places in that whole strip. The Carrot, Rabica. No, am I saying it right? No, I think that's in Teaneck. Also a good place. Any case, the Rustico, sorry, was Rustico. So both R's and dairy. So if you are down in Florida or Teaneck, there you go. Go check out all those restaurants. We have an amazing lineup for you today. We have 3 incredible guests, 3 people that have crossed my paths in the last 2 months, some even sooner than that. So I'm gonna introduce everyone, then we're gonna interview one at a time, and then we'll all come together for chit chat. Okay. So you guys know that I'm doing a Birthright trip, staffing a Birthright trip around Hanukkah time, and registration is still open. So I'd like to welcome on the trip there. Are you the head director of Israel Free Spirit with the OU?
Recruitment manager.
Recruitment manager, Shachar Avraham. Hello, how are you?
Excellent. Glad to be here.
I'm very excited to have you. It's fun being in the studio, right?
Oh, yeah.
He walked in, he's like looking at all the memorabilia on the walls and stuff. Very nice. Okay, so I've also got in the house, I've got Nicholas Cron from Vicron. I said
Very
it right.
Good. Well done.
Right. Okay, he's got a really cool accent himself. We'll talk about that. He was on my Instagram yesterday. For whoever caught my Instagram stories, we're going to have a great time talking about. I'm going to leave them hanging a surprise because I was blown away by this. What we're going to talk about, and then of course I have Rabbi David Pardo. There you are. Then it was hard getting in this morning, right?
A car hit a train at whatever. It's the price of living in New Jersey, I think.
By the way, I live in 5 Towns and Nick lives in Great Neck, and it took us an hour and a half to get here. Where are you?
I just came from downtown.
Oh, okay. Okay, you be quiet. He could have walked in. Did you walk here from the OU?
No, that would be quite a trek.
Yeah, that's not too bad. It's
I
about
ended
a
up
mile
taking
and a half.
a ride share, but...
okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was insane traffic. Welcome to working.
Bike.
Yeah, right? City Bike. Okay, City Bike. And we will be talking about City, Torrens
Field.
City. Yeah, we'll be talking about
There
City
we go.
Field in a couple of minutes for the OU.
About
this
the
Sunday.
commute to Queens this Sunday.
This Sunday. You should know I was on JM in the AM Thursday morning. We're recording this on Thursday. Yes, I'm doing this on a Thursday, guys. Usually if I pre-record, it's a Wednesday, but today I'm doing it on a Thursday. Nachman had me on JM in the AM this morning. He was in Gotta Get a Bagel in Woodmere, and we spoke about the event. So we got lots of shout-outs.
Lovely.
Okay, great. I still have to finish signing up. Okay. All right, Shachar, talk to me about Birthright. When did the OU get involved with Birthright?
Since its inception.
Which was how many years ago?
Approximately 20 years ago when Birthright Israel was established.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit of history about Birthright?
Sure, okay. Birthright,
How it got formed from the top.
Well, I can't go so much into the history of Birthright, but I'll tell you a little bit more about the trips that we run and specifically about Israel Free Spirit.
Okay,
Birthright.
that's what we want to Israel Free Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Israel Free Spirit Birthright is one of the trip organizers that is in partnership with Birthright Israel to run official Birthright trips.
Right, now Birthright also means Taglit, right?
The organization is Taglit Birthright Israel.
Okay.
And under them are a number of different organizations and institutions that partner with Birthright Israel and operate official trips.
Okay.
Yep. So Israel Free Spirit Birthright, which is affiliated with the OU, the Orthodox Union, has been around since Birthright Israel's inception. And we run these...
Which started...
in 1999.
Right.
And we run these life-changing trips, anywhere from 7 to 10 days, taking Jews of all backgrounds from North America to Israel for just an incredible experience. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I personally have staffed a number of trips, and yeah.
There's been shidduchim made on.
Yes, there have been.
Quite a few shidduchim. Okay, so let's talk about the specific one, the one that I'm going to be staffing about food. When did you first start food trips?
A couple of seasons ago. Yeah, I don't remember the exact season, but it's one of the most popular trips.
Okay.
As you can imagine, everybody loves food and just seeing the culture in Israel. So.
Okay, so it's a food and culture. I staffed one with my husband in 2015. It was considered like a regular birthright trip. It happened to have been an Orthodox trip. They don't always have, not everybody's there because, as we said, all walks of life. And we're still in touch with all our kids.
That is awesome.
Kids, young adults. Some of them were kids right out of high school, all the way through 25, 26 at the time. And we are we hear all the good news. Sometimes there's bad news, but we're still in touch. It's a really nice thing.
That's great.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the trip, about the Chaylim that join and all that.
Sure. So just a little bit more about the trip itself. Each trip has a very similar itinerary in which we're hitting all the hot spots throughout the country, and you're going north, south, east, west, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to the north in the Golan Heights, seeing beautiful sights, even going on the border of Syria and Lebanon, and going as far south as the Bedouin tents, which are a little bit south of Be'er Sheva.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that's...
we were there in August, and it was hot like anything.
But at night, it gets kind of chilly.
Yeah, it was fun. I got to sleep in a
You slept in the tent?
No. I got a house.
In the staff house.
In the staff house.
Yes.
Yeah, I think after 40, you get a staff house.
I don't think many participants know that the staff have their own staff house.
Yeah, shh, don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
Okay.
But in regards to the Chayalim, they're out of a certain Chayalim, soldiers, they join as birthright participants for a certain number of days of the trip. It's typically around 5 days, and they become integrated into the trip. So essentially, being participants, they get to meet these Americans, and the Americans obviously get to meet them. And it's really incredible for them, for both sides, to learn about what it means to be Jewish, both in Israel and coming from the United States.
And I think not many American young adults really know what a chayal who's 19, what our 19-year-old boys and girls go off and do in America. They go to college, they get a job. In Israel, they go off to the army.
And it's really eye-opening for them.
Right,
because
what do you mean you're not partying in college? You're on the front lines.
Right. And for them, it's really eye-opening because they're meeting a soldier. And they realize and learn very quickly that they're just like them. They're the same age. They want to have fun. And, they have similar interests. And one of the most fun things that we do is a little... So when the Israelis come, that's called mifgash. We meet them, right? That's what the program is called, the mifgash program.
I remember
so
that.
Some trips, at least the ones that I've done, as a way to prep for the Israelis coming, we do a little prep activity in which we split our group up into. This is before the Israelis come. So we split the group into, let's say, 5 different groups, and we give each of them a name of an Israeli who's going to come, and we tell them a little bit about their interests because we received that information before. Okay. And we tell them, here's a poster board, here's some markers, just draw them. And the pictures are hilarious. They're drawing, and they don't know if they're male or female. We don't tell them. We're just like, here's what they're into. And they do
make a poster board.
They just make a little picture, they draw them, and then at the end of the Mifgash program, let's say after the 5 days that they've joined us, we do a closing ceremony with them. And we have this surprise where we show, each group comes up and shows the Israelis that what they thought they were, what they thought they looked like before, and it's hilarious. Everybody's cracking up because over those 5 days,
you
got to know them. And then,
one day on Birthright is like a week.
Oh yeah,
it feels like a week.
Oh yeah,
it's very intense. You don't sleep.
Awesome. You're making friends for a lifetime.
Friends for a lifetime. I absolutely loved it, and it's so cool. Do you know, you want to tell everyone what certain things from Birthright are mandated? Every Birthright trip goes to several, besides the hotspots that you were talking about, several things of Yad Vashem and
the Kotel, Yad Vashem. Really, the Kotel is the one location that is mandatory. All itineraries are really subject to change, but we go to places like Yad Vashem and other.
I remember we went to Independence Hall.
Masada Independence Hall, which I think is under construction right now.
No way. So my
last trip didn't go.
I've been to Israel many times over the last how many years old I am, and there was the first time when I went on my birthday trip that I went to Independence Hall.
First time.
Yeah, I'd never. It was not always open. So I think once they opened it and they started using it, I guess they needed to upgrade it.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Independence Hall is in Tel Aviv, and it's where they signed the Declaration of Independence. I walked into that room and you just felt 2,000 years of history. Just, this is happening right now. We are sealing the deal. This is back to ours. And it was amazing. It was an incredible experience.
And something unique about our niche trips, like one of the ones that you're running, the foodie culture trip, is that, again, the itinerary is pretty much the same. But throughout the trip, or throughout the itinerary, there are, I'd say, 2 to 3 excursions or activities that are unique to the trip. So, for example, typically the foodie culture trip will do a tour of the food market in Tel Aviv or in Jerusalem, like specifically a food tour.
Right.
They'll visit a winery. And they'll do fun things like that are, to the niche.
Right. And what other niche trips are there for IFS?
We run a multitude of different trips for Jews of different backgrounds, but also people of different interests. So obviously the foodie culture trip. We run an arts and entertainment trip for people who are interested in music, art, entertainment, theater. And those also will have their own activities and excursions specific to those trips. Something really unique to us also as a trip organizer is that we run trips for people in recovery from drug addiction and from other addictions and people who are in recovery. And that's something that's unique to us. So for people who are in those situations,
that's very
we
nice.
have a trip for them. And we also have special needs trips as well, which we run through Yachad in partnership with Yachad. And trips for people who are medically disabled as well, called Yala.
Oh, my friend Elisheva Gans. Do you know it? I don't know.
I may have heard.
We're playing Jewish geography here. She actually lives right here on the Lower East Side. Shout out to Elisheva. So she does the Yala trip for Birthright.
Yep. But these are really incredible opportunities for people. We really want to give everybody the opportunity to experience Israel, no matter your background. We try and cater to everybody.
What is the point of Birthright? I think people are like, what's Birthright? Like,
what is Birthright Israel?
Like, why did these guys start it?
I'd say it's because they want Jewish people from around the world to connect and strengthen their relationship with their Jewish identity, as well as with the state of Israel, and if not their local Jewish community, the global Jewish community, really establishing that greater connection.
You know, when this is a story that really struck with me when I was staffing our Birthright trip. We were in the Gush Etzion, 20 minutes from Yerushalayim. We had stopped on Derech
Hebron.
Not Derech Hebron.
Derech Havot.
Derech Havot. Thank you, Rabbi. Derech Havot, and then because we had a religious trip, right? So we were sitting there with our campers, staff, kids, right?
Participants.
Participants, there you go. Looking for the right word. I work in camps. I'm still used to saying campers. Camp was only last month. And I was saying, see that mountain there? See that trail? That's where Avraham walked with Yitzchak to the Akedah. If you're watching me on the YouTube channel, you'll actually see me point like I'm pretending there's a mountain there. Like, that's where Avraham walked. This is history right here, right now. Your...
Right, connecting them with their Jewish heritage.
You guys, most of them were Brooklyn kids. I'm like, Avenue J, what was there before in Brooklyn? I love Avenue J. Don't get me wrong. I love Brooklyn. But what was there before? Not Avraham Avinu. Right there, Avraham walked. You learn about this every single year in Parsha, in Chumash, and there it is, right there. And it was, they were like, and here, that's when Shaul anointed David on that rock, when you do the tunnel tour. Like, they were like blown away. And these are kids who grew up learning Torah.
Right.
So I found that was my big take home for me. Even, I was a big grown up. I had 4 kids at the time, and I thought that was a big take home for me. Okay, cool. So let's talk about how one signs up for Birthright.
Sure.
Take it away.
So they can go. So you have a special referral link.
Yes, I do.
And we're running that promotion.
There it is. I have it all here.
We're running that promotion, which actually ends today, right?
Today. When you're
listening to this today.
Okay.
Friday, right?
You take it.
So remind me your link. I think it's Israel Free Spirit.
IsraelFreeSpirit.com/Naomi.
/Naomi. If you go to that link, you can register for Birthright Israel with Israel Free Spirit. You can see all of our trips. That trip will specifically select the foodie culture trip because you're promoting it. And basically you'll see the application, you'll sign up, you'll fill in some basic info, and then our team will just follow up with you.
Right, but the giveaway, we have the giveaway which ends today. I think that's where we're going.
Yes.
You can still sign up even after.
Yes,
today.
that is correct.
So right, but we're doing anyone who signs up for my trip
Through Naomi's
through
link.
my link, you could win a free Perfect Flavors.
That's correct.
Okay, so that ends this afternoon at, what did we say? We have at 12 p.m. We're at Friday 9:20 at 12 p.m. Shachar gave me very specific notes. Okay, great. So they can do that, and then they can sign up to Israel, come on a free trip to Israel. I think you have to put down a little money.
That's right. There is a trip deposit of $250. However, it is completely refundable. After the successful conclusion of a trip, you get it back.
Everybody gets their money back.
And yeah, it's awesome. So it is completely free.
Unreal.
It really is. It's an incredible organization and just the whole movement. It's awesome.
Okay, so guys, get on that Birthright trip. And even if you just talk about the qualifications, you can't have gone to Israel.
Sure. So there are some eligibility requirements in order to go on the trip. The most basic one is that you have to be Jewish. Next, you have to be between 18 and 32. Naomi's trip is specifically for people between 19 and 25, I believe. And
That's what you wrote.
if you've done a trip or if you've been to Israel before on an organized program, how that's defined will depend on what that program was, and in your application you'll indicate what type of program you went on and you'll give more detail. So even if you've been to Israel before on an organized program, there is a chance that you could go with Birthright Israel for free again. So I highly recommend
ZK signing up.
I highly recommend
I wish I was 32.
go to the website
You wish.
israelfreespirit.com/Naomi.
And
Check it out. Sign up for Israel Free Spirit Birthright. We have trips not only in the winter, but also in the summer. And if you're interested in summer trips, let's say, for example, you can't go this winter, you can still go this summer. We have trips from May throughout the whole summer, from May to August. So
that's great.
you can even register now for those trips.
I'm actually happy that I'm doing a winter trip because I already did a summer trip, so I'm gonna see a whole different vibe, which I'm really looking forward to.
Winter in
windbreaker.
What?
Gotta bring a windbreaker.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Winter in Israel is still gorgeous. It's still
Right,
warm.
you
but
have
yes,
to get
a
lucky.
light jacket.
Yeah,
but yes.
light jacket. It could rain. And
Yeah.
but it was nothing like that summer heat of 2015. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Shachar, for
Absolutely.
having us.
Thank you
I
for
hope to see
inviting me.
everyone signing up. I'm just going to put Rabbi Pardo over here, and then we'll talk at the end. You're gonna switch
spots?
seats.
Musical
Yeah, you're
chairs.
gonna switch spots, or you can go back. I
And,
want one of these.
and one
backpacks.
last thing. Well, I can actually give it to you. That's why. One last thing, Naomi. I have some swag for you.
Everybody knows I love my
So
swag.
if you're watching this, you can see the swag.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe if you get on the trip, you can also get some swag. So first off, we have a travel pouch, which you can use for cosmetics or anything really.
Good. Okay, good, great.
Classic Israel Free Spirit Birthright water bottle.
Because in Israel, even in the winter, you got to hydrate.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. We have a reusable solo cup.
Oh, this is cute.
More so, maybe for the college kids.
There you go.
And yeah, and we also have a complimentary OU pocketbook for you. Planner if you want.
fantastic.
Yes.
Excellent. Is there Hashem's name in here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I treat it respectfully. Don't just
Yes.
chuck it in my bag.
Absolutely.
Okay, amazing. Shachar, thank you so much. It was nice to meet you in person. We've been talking a lot the last couple of weeks.
Same here. Thank you.
All right, we look forward to another successful Birthright trip. Okay, amazing. Well done. You guys can probably cab back to the office together. I'm making shidduchim here for cab rides. Hello, Rabbi. What do you need?
The
No,
cool.
that's just for me.
That's just
Joanna's
for
set.
you? No, what are you talking
Rabbi,
about?
you can have a set. Do you want
I
a
just-
set?
I-
You can take a set.
Take
a set.
I mean, you're gonna be in a studio.
I know, and especially
Right?
this one. You can all put
Here
it
we
on.
go.
I have actually really...
Plug it in too. Oh,
You
so
can
many
plug
steps.
it in. There you go. I actually have terrible hearing, so this
field.
guarantees me good hearing.
There we go.
Okay.
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for
Fine.
having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for having.
This is our first
me.
time actually meeting in person.
face to face. I know it's a big reunion here, like a
Yeah, I know.
meet up.
I missed his ride share. I had to be on my own.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You had quite a ride getting in here this morning.
It's just the price of living in New Jersey. But,
Yeah, right.
But we're here, thank God,
Okay.
in New York City.
How's it going? How's everything going for the Sunday prep?
Amazing. We are 3 days, 20 hours out from the
Big event.
big event.
Yeah,
We've been preparing for months.
How many years have you guys been doing that? Or you've been running this?
Tour in New York is in year 3. This is
Okay.
the third year. It
Talk
started.
us talk about the inception. Yeah.
Yeah, so it started, it was the vision of the current president of the OU, Moish Bain, who just thought that, why don't we do this? Why don't we no one's done this. No one's gotten the full breadth and expanse of luminary scholars and teachers under one roof for a full day of Torah learning. There's certainly, events like it, and this, of course, is so different in so many ways than Siyum Shas, which is also a once in a lifetime experience. He said, let's do this, and you'll come here, and thousands of people will come and feel like they walked away. Like, I heard a great shiur. I heard an amazing shiur.
And it's basically like a week before Rosh Hashanah, the time that we want to immerse ourselves in
and that's
Torah.
I mean, the timing is really auspicious. So for Ashkenazim who are beginning Slichos this Saturday night, you can go to Slichos, you can be inspired, and if you walk away and you're like, what am I going to do with this inspiration or with this guilt? No judgment, either way. What am I going to do with it? You could just sit on it. Maybe you can eat your guilt. Some people do that. Or you could say, I'm going to channel it into a day of learning Torah.
I think it's amazing. And people are probably thinking that this is a radio show. It's loud. Is it too loud?
I know, I can't. There's no feedback, actually, into the headphones.
Oh, okay. ZK's like, oh.
It's
It's
good.
He wants to wear the headset to look cool.
The headset, it's all about looking cool.
Right, you got the microphone in front
I
of you.
have a face for radio, so
yeah. Well, we actually do have a camera right here.
All right.
So you're actually on
I'm going to be a
camera.
normal person now. Let's talk.
They're probably thinking, Naomi, you do a food show. Why are you talking about,
Torah.
Torah. Because we always talk about Torah. Torah is in our food. We make brachas on our food, right? So
every holiday.
Every day. Every Shachar
Every
on
day.
the coffee.
Yeah. It revolves around food.
This is the first bracha of the day, right? Before davening, I have my Shachar coffee, and then I go to Shachar daven in the morning. But so I got a phone call from, I think the first phone call from Rabbi Freeman, Yehuda Freeman.
That's right.
He made the introduction to us, Naomi. We want to have the foodies at the OU City Field Torah. And I'm like, me? What am I going to be able to do there? Like, I'm not really Rebbitzin. I don't know if I'll be able to give anything over. So then
Quasi now, right?
Quasi, right? Yeah, my husband just did get me.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Start calling you Rebbitzin.
Yeah, that's all him. He's amazing. At this, at our age, to be able to go back to yeshiva and work and learn it was amazing that he did that.
Really beautiful.
Did it with my son-in-law. So we had to come up with a good chap. I said, if I'm going to be there, it's a day of Torah. Like, people aren't really interested in cooking. Let's put the two together. Let's do a halacha shiur about cooking on Yom Tov and cooking on Shabbos and all the things that can go wrong, because we want to get better at what we're doing. We want to learn. So we came up with the idea.
That's exactly it. So we were just, from the inception to now, the inception was let's do this. If the OU is going to have a marquee event, a physical event where people show up, it's got to reflect in some really profound way what is our community's core value. If you dig down, like, what is it we're going to celebrate as a community when we get together? And then the answer to that was Torah. We gather around Torah. We want the event of the year that's going to be awesome, that's fun, with something for everybody that you're going to walk away from, you're going to have great memories from, pictures from, an event about Torah. And now this is my first year running the show, and we said, if this is a day about Torah, so shiurim are definitely Torah. There's no question shiurim are Torah, but Torah is more than shiurim. How can we highlight and elevate and celebrate Torah in every aspect of everything we do? So that we do a heck of a lot of cooking. I certainly do a heck of a lot of eating.
I do both.
And the good people in my life accommodate me by doing the cooking. I made my own omelet this morning, though.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. My husband got breakfast and lunch made by moi.
Okay. So we do a heck of a lot of eating. Torah is part of that. So that's what we're showcasing. Is yours truly is me. So you, Naomi's going to do a cooking demo, but it's not just a cooking demo, because you can go elsewhere for a cooking demo. At Torah New York, you come for a cooking demo that's a shiur. Rabbi Gerson from OU Kosher is going to co-present.
We're going to co-present a shiur, and we're going to talk about all the things that can go right or wrong on cooking on Shabbos and Yom Tov.
If you're coming to prepare for Yom Tov, so you're coming to shiurim, a lot of people also think, how am I going to cook? And hopefully people are thinking, like, when I'm cooking on Yom Tov, what do I have to know? How's it different from Shabbos? What is it that my mother never taught me? What is it that I don't know? What can I improve on?
Right. Or
So many little things.
I was somewhere in Israel on Shabbos, and someone was making a salad, and they were cutting something up that I knew that I didn't do because of tochen, right? Grinding. You cannot cut up parsley so small because of grinding. We don't grind it, right? So I'm like thinking, she's pretty from. She probably,
She knows what she's talking about?
she
Didn't make it up.
No, she didn't. Like she just didn't realize, So I think that like it's really interesting to think that like we don't know everything yet, and that we're a young person, but
Sure.
if there's always room to grow, there's always room to learn. I like to think you're coming to this event to learn and grow. So we came up with this really cool idea. We haven't even met yet in person, Rabbi Gerst and I, but we've spoken. And you know what Art Scroll did? They printed out recipe cards for the recipes that I'll be demoing. I wrote on the back of the card some recipes from my book that will be perfect for Rosh Hashanah, because my book's called Perfect Flavors. So we called it Perfect for Rosh Hashanah. And we have a coupon code at the back for anybody who, what did we call OU Torah, I think is the coupon code. And then people can get Perfect Flavors with free shipping if they don't have it already. And I'll also be selling them there.
Yes.
So
stock your library. Get ready.
Stock your library with Art Scroll and OU books and all the good stuff.
And stock your kitchen full of delicious spices.
Yeah. So it's going to be like, who else is presenting?
Oh my goodness. I mean, we have if you head over to the website at torahny.org, we have a very full stack of speakers. I'm almost scared to run through a mental list of names because I'm going to.
You can leave some out. It's okay. I mean, not you're human. We can't remember everything. Just off the top of your head.
Our plenary speakers are Aaron Lopiansky, which is very exciting. He released a book recently. He's been really elevated in the community. Rabbi Tzvi Rimon coming from Israel.
Oh, nice.
Dr. Jeffrey Wolf, Dr. Wiskin, Shani Tarragon.
Okay.
Sivan Rahav Meir is a returning fan fave, and she's actually on Shlichut for the entire year here in America.
Oh, really?
Her and her husband, yeah.
Where are they?
World Mizrahi Shlichim to North America.
She's in the 5 towns, isn't she?
I think she's based
Somebody
in the 5
just
towns.
told me that
Rented
she's
their house.
here.
Yeah.
Somebody,
I think they house swapped.
somebody just told me about her, and I should have her over for a meal. I can't remember who told me.
Well, I'm happy to make an intro.
Yeah, make another
on
intro.
Sunday.
Yes, you'll make an intro. Someone said she's going to be in the 5 towns.
She is, and I'll tell you a crazy story. For those of us, with our eyes to the east, Israeli elections for the second time this year happened this week.
Okay, and Bibi's.
We don't know yet.
We still don't know.
No one knows.
Okay.
It's highly contentious. There's a move towards a unity government, but I don't know if this is that kind of show. Political reflections.
I want to know. Wait, you want to hear a funny story?
I love funny stories.
I met Bibi, and
Okay.
I was on the Jewish Media Summit in November.
Okay.
There was a whole bunch
That's very hoity-toity.
It was.
Elitist.
Nah, not at all. And I don't know. I was invited. I went, me and some food bloggers and journalists from all over the world and journalists from all over New York. We all went on this Jewish Media Summit. It was unreal. One of the things was to go to the Knesset. Where it's kind of like winding down our tour. They're like, we weren't sure if Bibi could meet with us, but we met with Michael Oren and we met with a lot of politicians. And then we had tours of Yerushalayim, and people got to choose different tracks that they wanted. It was incredible. We're wrapping up the Knesset. We're like, Bibi can meet with you. Quick. They take our whole group into like a meeting room or press room, I don't know.
Something, yeah.
But as we walk into so go back half an hour, we walk into the Knesset and the whole place smells like schnitzel. Okay, it all comes back to food. And everyone's like, all the other journalists, like, foodie bloggers, come over here. We want to talk to you. Why does the Knesset smell like schnitzel? We're like, we bet you there's a cafeteria here. I'm telling you, the entire Knesset, all I remember, besides meeting Bibi, I'm going to just say, I think he's amazing. Politics aside, he's a very dynamic speaker.
Quite the statesman.
He's quite the stakes, and he lights up a room, whether you're pro-politics or not. I'm leaving that aside. He lights up the room. Yeah. I was in a room with him, and he just illuminates the room. But we're like, schnitzel everywhere, all over. And we found the lunchroom with it, or frying schnitzel fresh for the Israeli
taste as
politician.
good as it smells?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to try it. They're like, we're so soft. We ended up getting some falafel, some hole in the wall. But
Those aides. They know what they're doing.
That was amazing. That schnitzel, like, they say when you want to sell a house, you put cookies in the oven to bake. When you want to get the politicians going, you fry schnitzel in the Knesset.
Israeli politics is just a different animal. Yeah.
It was unreal.
And the animal is chicken.
Yeah, fried
Right.
fried chicken. Doesn't get better than that.
So Bibi's not coming, unfortunately. He sends his regrets. But you told me a crazy story. I'm telling you a crazy story.
Okay.
Sivan Rahav Meir is here for the year with her husband.
Yeah.
At Shlichim, World Mizrachi, one of her very first appearances. And her early appearances will be at Torah New York. And I got an email early this week that Sivan has been recalled to Israel to report on the elections. And I freaked out. She's an important journalist, so she had to go back to Israel. I was like, oh my God, does that mean she's not showing up Sunday? Nope. She is coming back in time to make sure
flight.
to be there for Torah New York.
No delays on.
No, well, whatever.
Yeah,
Hashem.
we'll get there.
Hopefully their
the private jets.
their jets won't get hit by a car like my train did.
Yeah. Crazy.
We have now I pulled over the list.
Okay. I know,
Rabbi Feiner.
Oh, Rabbi Feiner, which he's first cousins with Rebbitz and Tarragon.
He is not. They're
siblings. Oh, you're
yes.
right. They're first. Both of them are siblings, and they're first cousins with our foodie friend Melinda Strauss.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was tying that all in.
Powerhouse family.
Those two with foodie blogger and Kavanah. Now she's Kavanah. She's running Kavanah conference about having Kavanah and believing in yourself. And that first cousins with Rabbi Tarragon.
Yeah, I didn't
Rabbi
realize
Feiner.
we did this family reunion without realizing. I only learned afterwards.
Yeah,
when I think I was speaking with Rabbi Feiner. It's like, oh yeah, I heard you're having my sister. My mother told me. I was like,
yeah, crazy,
amazing.
right? What a smart family.
Aida Shamama.
Shout out to the Feiners and the Russacks.
So Rabbi Feiner will be there. Rabbi David Foreman.
Good friend of mine.
Well,
I've known him for 35 years. He came to Australia on Counterpoint when I was a kid in high school.
That's so funny.
I don't know if you know what Counterpoint is.
I do.
It's a Kirill program that comes from America and Israel to Australia
YU,
to engage in the school.
It was a YU program. It is a YU program.
Melbourne gets YU and Sydney gets from Israel.
Oh, interesting.
So he was on a program. Yeah, he's amazing. What a brilliant speaker. Very dynamic.
Very
and
dynamic. He's got a great voice for radio.
He does.
Got that podcast, got Aleph Beta. Actually, people who we set up a deal with Aleph Beta, anyone who signs up for Torah New York gets a 3-month subscription to Aleph Beta for free.
Okay, good.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. We're great friends. His wife is one of my closest friends.
Hopefully she'll be there.
Hopefully. Rena, I hope to see you there. Okay.
More speakers. We have Rabbi Joey Haber. Out of Brooklyn, we have Rabbi Avraham Kahan, who's a young Av based in. Who's going to give a really incredible shiur. Rabbi Levi Langer is a Rosh Kollel from Pittsburgh. Rabbi Judah Michelle.
Oh, sure. Camp Hask. Woohoo, Camp Hask. I'm running the Jerusalem Marathon for Camp Hask.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Everything.
You can sponsor me.
I want to drop a link there.
Yeah.
And we'll do it in the...
It's on my Instagram.
Rabbi Yaakov Newberger from my corner of town. From Bergenfield. And YU Rosh Hashiva. CB Nugershal.
Oh, I love her. She's amazing.
Yes, she is. She's terrific. I mentioned Rav Yosef Tzvi Rimon, Rabbi Shaul Robinson from this fine city, the rabbi of Lincoln Square Synagogue.
Oh, okay. They're not.
And also from the Commonwealth.
Oh, he's British?
He's British.
There you go.
Yes. I thought you all know each other.
No. Right? I just met Nick and he's from Ireland. We'll talk about that. That's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to chat.
Perfect. Ms. Madar Rosenzweig will be presenting. Rabbi Yonason Sachs. I'm skipping names of people who are associated with programs. I'd love to tell you about Rabbi J.J. Schachter, Mrs. Dina Schoonmaker, Shira Smiles.
Guys, we've got a huge lineup. We have one very important question, okay? Remember, this is a food show. What food's going to be served there?
There will be concession stands, and we're going to have... Yeah.
Do we know which concession stands that we can give them a shout out? We don't know yet. Is it the ones at City Field?
Yes.
So like hot dogs?
I mean, there's going to be a lot more food than hot dogs. There's going to be... I did not prep this part of the interview.
Okay, I just thought... Well,
I
that's
can pull
what
open
happens.
the contract.
I thought of it now. Like, we got to talk about the food part because,
No, the food's delicious. We were down there. We're using City Field's kosher caterer.
Oh, okay. So good. The
Yeah.
City Field's kosher caterer. So those who have been... I love baseball. So
Yes.
I've gone to quite a few... Yeah, isn't that funny? I learned it when I
how'd
came
that
to this
happen?
country. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been to a World Series game. Yeah, I know.
Fancy stuff.
Yeah, I did a really good one. The Diamondbacks played the Yankees in what year? And the 2001.
Irish and you're.
Yeah, 2001. The Diamondbacks versus the Yankees. The Yankees won in the 11th hour in the 11th inning.
Yes.
Derek Jeter got up to bat at midnight. They called him Mr. November.
I was raised by an Israeli and a Russian. I was left out of this.
I can out baseball a lot of people. Wait, just to let you know, Miriam Wallach, our general manager, is a big baseball fan. So a lot of stuff she has a lot of baseball references in her show too.
I am the foreigner in this conversation.
Yeah, somehow I don't think so. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. Anything else? How do we register? And then before we move on? You
just head over to torahny.org, TORAHNY.org.
I have to do it too.
No, you don't. I got you taken care of. You know somebody.
Okay.
You have a guy.
We got. I need 3. Yeah. Me, my husband, and my daughter.
I think I texted you.
Okay, great. Good.
But for the rest of y'all, unless you're also on WhatsApp with me, then please head over to torahny.org. Please register now. We increased capacity since last year. There was so much demand, and now with Rosh Hashanah, Yom Noraim around the corner, there's a big interest in channeling our prep into something physical you could take away. If you hate the Yom Noraim, there's still plenty of shiurim. They're not about Yom Noraim. There will be plenty of shiurim about the machzor and about tshuva and many things. And there will be terrific food. And there's programming for everybody. There's programming for children and for through the age of 12 and for high schoolers. That's also all new this year.
And there's a family discount as well.
There's a family discount.
Bring
That's
the kids.
Right.
Bring the kids. Leora's coming.
Bring the kids. My wife even told me today that she's bringing the kids, so she's sold.
Okay,
so that's a big deal.
How many people are we expecting?
2,500.
Okay, 2,500 people are coming to learn Torah together. That's a beautiful thing. Erev Yontif.
If we can get 100 of your listeners to come, we'll get to 2,600. And then we got some gematrias going on.
Okay, I love that.
Okay.
And do we have extra security we need to worry about?
We are in full communication with all the law enforcement agencies.
Okay, so that comes my way. Like, people will ask me questions.
Sure.
For sure. So.
Very important to me, very important to the Orthodox Union.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You guys are going to switch seats. We are playing musical chairs here. I put everybody here in the hot seat. Literally hot seat. Because you have something very exciting to share with us. I have Nick Crum with us, all the way from Great Neck, New York. Great Neck, New York. I've got New Jersey on the brain from him. Okay, bye, guys. Yes, ride share. I can coordinate. You guys will go back to work together. 11 Broadway. Okay, bye, guys. Thank you so much. Shachar, I'm going to need one of those knapsacks. Just steal one out of the closet. No. You take that. I'll get a Birthright one. My own. Okay. All right. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Okay, we have to talk in our thickest native accents because I'm Australian and Nick is an Irish Jew.
From Dublin.
Now, there are not too many Irish Jews living in New York, right?
Correct.
And we met about a month ago.
Right.
Not even. I'm at a friend's house. Do you want to tell the story? Should I tell this?
Oh, you go ahead first, and then I'll join in after.
I'll start. So I go to my friend's house for Shabbos in Great Neck, and I see this piece of furniture that's got food in it, like hot food. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm going to give you an example. We couldn't actually bring the piece of furniture up because it's
a little heavy.
It's a little heavy, and there's a big flight up. This. Can you guys see? If you're watching on our YouTube channel, I'll also post later, and I'll be able to see on the website. But she's like, oh my God, you've never seen this before? I'm like, no. They're like, it's like a blech. It's like a food warmer. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I've had it for 20 years. I'm like, I'm in the food business a long time and catering, and I go away a lot. I've never seen it anywhere. She goes, I'm going to put you in touch with the people after Shabbos. They're my neighbors. They're my friends. They gave it to me as a wedding present. They'll come over. Matzah Shabbos comes around, and we meet the Crumbs. So I'm just looking at this picture. It's amazing how, look at this. All right, take it from, now we're going to switch to you. You're from Dublin. How long have you been in the United States?
So I came to the States in about 1994. I got a green card in the lottery. They hand out...
Were you single?
Yes, I was single. I was actually studying at university, doing a PhD program, and the U.S. government hands out visas to certain countries to allow people to come and work in the U.S. And at that time, it was called the Morrison program. I applied, and on the third year of application, my number came up. So technically, I won the lottery, and I had 120 days to enter the U.S. I turned my PhD into a master's, and I arrived shiny and off the boat in New York City. I had a job lined up in Midtown, and I was ready to take on the world.
And you did it.
And I did it. And I had been involved with the B'nai B'rith organization. I'd done some tours to both the US and to Israel. And through friends of friends, I was introduced to somebody else who had just moved to the city. And she said, come to the Sephardic Education Center, the SEC, for a lecture. And I said, the SEC? I'm Ashkenaz. I'm not going to a Sephardic thing. No. Please come. And lo and behold, that's where I got introduced to a whole new world for me, the Sephardic community of New York. And later on, I married the then president, Vivian. And the rest of our love story is a long one and a beautiful one.
It's so nice.
So when we got married, I said, we need to get a hostess trolley. And she said, a what?
Because we've never heard of this
at that time, no,
it
didn't. It really wasn't anywhere in the US at all, but it had been in the UK for probably 30 to 40 years. This product was made for a secular market, originally by Philips Electronics, those stereos and hi-fi systems. So Philips made this product to keep food warm. It then got bought out by the current manufacturer, and it's been around for a very long time. So when we got married, I wanted to buy one, couldn't find it in the US. And so we decided to go and find the license and become the distributor for the US and Canada. And we got that all organized in 1998. And we've been bringing it in since. So the first thing that we decided was, look, my family has been using this for Shabbos forever. It didn't have hashgacha or any type of guidance, but we knew that it was good for Shabbos based on our own comfort levels. But we decided that to make it work for the Jewish community here in the States, we should bring it to the OU and look for some type of higher level certification.
I think it's great. A lot of the ovens, GE has an OU.
Right.
I think the Star K in Baltimore also gives out hechshers on certain ovens. I'm just holding this up to our camera.
Right. So, what's kind of interesting about many of the ovens with Shabbat mode is that they still are not 100% halachically kosher. If there's any possibility of those ovens warming up after the door is open to get back to the maintained temperature, then technically it's not 100% sure what's going on there. With our product, it literally, once you plug it in, it gets hot. If you open the doors, it doesn't get any hotter. It does not have a thermostat. It does not have a light switch. There's absolutely nothing to make this product get hotter or colder unless you unplug it. So we brought it to the OU, and we had the schus of working with Rabbi Belsky, Olav Shalom, and he looked and he examined and he took questions from everybody, and unbelievably, he was able to fight off all of the naysayers, and he decided, yes, this is ideal for Shabbos. People sort of said to him, but Rabbi, it's hot, and therefore... Look, his answer was, if you leave anything on a hot enough surface, eventually it'll cook. You break an egg on a hot sidewalk, eventually it'll cook. But you're not going to eat that egg. It's not going to be edible, and it's not going to be healthy. So we were able to really feel comfortable that our product was kosher for use on Shabbos and Yom Tov. It is not hot enough to cook. So people ask us, can you leave cholent in overnight to cook? And really the answer is no.
I asked that question. I wanted to know if I could put my yapsik, my overnight potato kugel in there. And he's like, nah.
No, you can leave it in there once it's cooked to stay warm overnight, no problem. You can leave a potato kugel in overnight. You can take a potato kugel from the fridge on Shabbos morning and put it in to warm through, assuming that there's nothing liquid or otherwise.
That's where I was going to go with that, guys. It's still not saying you can use it. It still can't have liquid. Ashkenazim hold you cannot heat liquid on Shabbat.
Right. So the
I think Sephardim have a different thing.
They do. They do. So there's a whole set of guidelines from the OU. And I certainly don't get into halacha, and often I'm asked, is this kosher for this reason or that reason? And I refer people back to the OU letter because it's way beyond my purview to be starting to give halachic advice. And all I can tell you is that we have many Rebbeim who use our product, own our product, endorse our product, and are very happy with this way of keeping their food hot on Shabbos and Yom Tov. And I should also tell you, and this is one of the hard things for us to figure out from an advertising point of view, our product has been safety tested for being plugged in for 3 days straight.
Which is amazing because we have 3-day Yom Tovs all the time.
All the time.
Happens to be not this year, but Pesach, guys, watch out. Pesach, the next 2 years, Pesach will be 3 days.
3-day Yom Tov. So what I like about our product is that from a safety point of view, this is far safer than any type of blech or plata or anything else that you may have. And when you hear and see about the horrific fires that happen within our communities, it is heartbreaking to think that a small error could cause such tragedy and potentially loss of life. Our product is safety tested. If a shelf was to burn out, the worst that happens is the shelf stops working. There is no fires, there's no tragedy, and I can't advertise on that, but it is something that is so important to us as we talk about our product from a safety point of view to keep families safe.
Right. I mean, you have a family yourself. You want to keep them safe. You use this product.
Yeah. And many times I get asked, I have young children, so do I need a special safety child lock or a door lock or otherwise? And the answer really is no. This product gets hot for warming purposes only.
Right.
So if a child was to put their hand on a shelf, they're going to go, ow, hot, but they're not going to hospital with a blister. And I will tell you that it's not advisable to leave Barbie dolls inside your trolley because, and I know this from firsthand experience, when my daughter was young, she thought it was a great place to store her Barbie doll. We plugged it in, we didn't know. All that happened was it slowly melted. The makeup didn't look so good anymore, but there was no fire.
She aged fast.
She aged very fast. But from a safety point of view, the kids are fine.
I knew when I first met Nick that he was going to be a great guest on Table for Two because he's such a great... Right, ZK is cracking up. Great entertainer. He's amazing. It's always fascinating, and I get this, because being an Aussie, I'd love to know if the Americans listeners, do you hear a difference in our accents? ZK, do you hear a difference? A little bit. Guys, email me, Naomi@nachamsegal.com. Do you have a difference in our accents?
Because I get asked, am I Australian all the time? Oh, also, do I get asked if I'm South African?
Or British?
Well, British, yes, of course, but...
Yeah, when I'm in Israel, no one will ever say to me, oh, you sound American. Now go, are you English or Australian? But I'm like, hello, I live in America for 30 years.
But you still sound Australian.
Do I still sound Australian?
Very much so.
Oh, yay. Well, I can't say I work hard on that, but I always joke around. This is how I got my job because I sounded Australian. So Nachman and Miriam invited me to do the show, different accent. When we met, it was, we spoke about the it's called Vicron, which is
an acronym of my wife's name. Vivian Cron. Vikron.
But it's not Vicron. It's Not what did I call it before?
Vicron. You called it Vicron. Vicron.
I called it Vicron, but it's Vicron.
Yeah.
They kind of rebranded the name for themselves.
Right, and we changed the name from, in the UK it's called Hostess Trolley. We sort of felt Hostess was sort of an antiquated name for America and it wouldn't really work, so we called it a buffet cart.
A buffet.
And it seemed to resonate better with the US market, so it's now called the Vicron Buffet Cart.
People were seeing this on my Instagram yesterday when you came over and you brought me mine to the house. My Instagram was on fire. People had a million questions. They were asking questions about it, or they had it, or their grandmother had it in England or South Africa. And there's been a lot of curiosity. We are going to put up a link. I'm going to put it up. We give it to you now, or I'm going to also put it up on my Instagram and on my Facebook and stuff.
And we're going to do a Naomi Nachman special price, and we're going to leave that up all year. And you're going to get some nice discount if you follow the hot link from Naomi's
literally
Instagram
hot.
page.
That's why I was saying it was, the hot seat, because we're talking about a hot item.
Exactly.
Physically hot and hot amazing. So I was able to put in yesterday. I made dinner. I tested it out. I put a ton of things in there. I put in the French fries.
Great.
You think French fries would go soggy?
No.
They do not go soggy. and the pita with the meat inside, like we had with Naf last week. Delicious, amazing. I tapped on the bread and it was still crispy. If you saw my Instagram, you saw me do that. I loaded it up and I can't wait to load it up for Yontif. It also comes, I'm just going to show for those who are watching, it comes with 3 glass Pyrex dishes that have got like a spot for it. It's got like a groove for these dishes and you put it in on top and it heats up nicely. This is, and I thought when we met, and I'm like, this is so perfect for Yontif. I want you in the before Yontif because I think people really need to be able to order this Shabbos Yontif Sukkah's coming up.
Yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
put it in your sukkah, you told me.
I would rather that it wasn't left outside. I mean, can it be wheeled out to the sukkah during Chol Hamoed? Yeah, of course. But to leave it out for 2 or 3 days with potentially rain and dew, not so ideal.
So, but I think, we're schlepping up and down. Like my kitchen is up a flight of stairs where my sukkah is. I'm going to bring mine to the den and I'm going to leave it plugged in the den and just go from the den to the sukkah.
Yeah, we do.
It is absolutely like a fantastic item to have. It looks like a piece of furniture, so it can match your house.
Yeah.
So you don't realize that. ZK's like looking at it. ZK, do you need one of these?
So it comes in 4 different colors at the Wood Effect carts, and then we have a higher level line, which are the real wood units, much more expensive, but looks like a piece of furniture, functionally the same, size-wise inside exactly the same, but they look like a finished piece of furniture.
Oh, which is these. There you go, a little fancier. And by the way, if I'm going back to the pictures, the top slide open.
Yeah.
So you can open it and close it. It's very neat looking. My husband likes things neat, and this is very, very, very neat. And you were just saying that your mum puts her dishes inside, so the dishes should be warm.
So look, the idea is that these units are designed for tableware, so you don't just have to use your pots, pans, and aluminum, although of course that's fine, but this is designed for china and Pyrex and glass. In fact, anything that doesn't melt is absolutely fine to go into this. We've often done takeouts and taken the plastic, put it on a dinner plate and put it inside the unit just until you're ready.
Oh, that's very
clever.
clever.
My mother puts her table plates into the unit in a stack, and therefore she's taking hot food onto hot plates onto the table. My wife doesn't do that. We do family style.
So it's very European to do it like your mum.
Like my mother.
Can we just talk a little bit, because I know everyone's going to ask, what was it like growing up in Ireland as a Jew?
So growing up in Ireland, for me, it was normal living. We didn't realize the rest of the world may not be like that. The community when I was very young was probably about 5,000 strong. Jews have been in Ireland since the 1500s. My people came in the 1750s in one side and the 1890s on the other.
From Europe?
No, well, sort of. So on my mother's father's side, we're Persian. Who knew? I have an ancestor that...
And he lives in Great Neck.
And I live in Great Neck. So my mother's father's side, David Shojan made a trek from Iran. His name is Shojan, that's Shushan, Hamadan, Purim story, to Amsterdam. And he brought his wife Bila and children. And then they moved outside Amsterdam to a small town called Zwelje. And they lived there, and then his grandson became a merchant, and he traveled to Ireland in the 1750s and met Jewish community and stayed. My mother's family, Lithuania, and he's got one of those tremendous stories where his father was taken away by the Cossacks, his mother remarried, that man was arrested, and he walked from a small town all the way across Europe, about 1,200 kilometers, took a boat from Hamburg to England, probably on his way to Ellis Island, but Ellis Island sounds very similar to Ireland. And he arrived in Dublin, not knowing any English. He had Jew, synagogue, and rabbi. He found his way to the community, and he said he'd like to be a chazan. And they looked at him and said, every boy from the Haim wants to be a chazan. He got taken in by a family. Many years later, he married their eldest daughter, Leah, and they went on to have 11 children, adopted a niece, so there was 12 of them.
Goosebumps.
My grandmother was number 9, and they were a frum family, so lunch was 2 sittings every day. And the family came home and ate in shifts. And my great-grandfather, God bless him, he came with nothing, and he became a very prominent businessman. He owned theaters and cinemas. one of his sons, Louis Elliman, became an impresario in the theater world, and he traveled out to Hollywood. And in fact, I'm working with one of my mom's cousins to put up a website at the moment called Louis Elliman, and it's about his life as an impresario with Judy Garland and Jimmy Cagney and Jimmy Stewart, and when they were all kids traveling to Ireland and joing on stage, and that's going up as a
amazing.
history.
Did I tell you he was going to be a great guest? Fascinating. We need another hour. We need you back here.
Well, we can arrange it.
We can arrange it. Okay, guys, Vicron, you need this in your house. I'm always talking about with great passion, about all my guests. I love everything. This is a necessity. You don't understand. ZK is like grinning from ear to ear. He sees and he's seen everyone. We are so impressed. We're even over our hour. And we are just so impressed by the Vicron and having you as a guest. That was incredible. What's the link one more time before we sign off?
So you're going to go to Vicron.com, Vikron.com/Naomi-Nachman, and that's your landing page. And we've got the special pricing right there for Naomi.
Okay, amazing. All right, guys, this is an incredible show.
Thank you.
1 hour just went by so fast. Okay, we have an incredible show coming up next week. Thank you so much for listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. We have music sponsored by our friends at Kedem right up until Lech Benching. Wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.